However we try and like dress it up, that is what seed sowing is. It's just literally that. Good morning everyone, welcome back to my allotment diaries. My name is Emma, these are my allotment diaries. I'd love for you to follow along, subscribe to my channel and take a look at some of the links below for lots of my favourite products, a link to my website, a link to my Instagram, things like that. I'm starting my allotment journey today in my back garden. Just wanted to show you a few of the seeds that I've been sowing over the weekend and also over last weekend as well. This is the time of year where I usually panic and think, what's everyone else sowing? How far ahead is everyone? How far behind am I? So I thought I would sort of share with you what I've been up to really and what seeds I've actually physically sown. It's not that many. It feels like more than it is, but it's not. So in here you can see I've got my sweet peas coming up finally at last. I actually sowed these about 2.5–3 weeks ago. They've taken ages. There is a trick where you can soak the seeds in water overnight before you plant them and I think you get faster germination. I didn't do that, but they're all germinating now, so they should be fine. Over here we've had a bit of a snail invasion overnight. This was literally, you guys, one snail. So I think this goes to show that one snail can do a heck of a lot of damage. Luckily I've sown thousands of these. These are, these ones here are Brussels sprouts. I know that because they've taken the longest to come up and they're little and kind of purpley and a darker green. So I know that they're Brussels sprouts. I think these are cauliflowers and these are purple sprouting broccoli. So one of these, I did label them. It seems that the labels have gone a bit funny. But I've got loads of them, so I should be able to prick some of these out soon. And then these are cosmos. None of my cosmos have yet germinated, so we'll have to see. I might sow some more of those. I've got some sunflowers in here, 2 each. These are just normal giant sunflowers. I've got the peas over there. They're not doing very well this year. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might have to buy some actually. These ones are doing good, the ones that have grown, but I think I might need to get some more. And then down here I've got some more peas that I've sown. These are not coming up yet. Oh, actually they are. Tell a lie, tell a lie. They are starting to germinate. These are a different variety of peas. Can't remember what ones. Earlies though, early peas. These are leeks. Let's have a look. No leeks. Got some cling film over it because I just think it might help with the extra heat. Bit of insulation there. I've got some flower seeds in here, but these are not germinating yet at all. Just don't think they're going to, but we're going to keep them covered with cling film. We'll see. And then I brought these little sweet peas and you can see some of them have had a bit of a munch. Some snails had a bit of a munch on these ones as well, but I brought these from B&Q over the weekend. They're very, very cheap to buy and I've just snipped the top off and that just helps them to get bushier because it's on the stems that grow sideways that you get the flowers. So when you chop the top off, they grow more side shoots. The way I've always thought about that is, imagine a seed, imagine a plant is growing up straight, right, and he's trying to get as tall as he can because plants, they want to get as tall as they can and get towards the sun. They want to be in the sky, okay? That's a plant's dream, to grow up, up, up like a beanstalk. When you chop the top of it off, the plant thinks that there's danger ahead, so it goes up, it gets chopped off and it goes, oh my goodness, I'm not going to grow that way, we're going to die, that thing's going to keep chopping us, we better send our shoots out to the side and grow sideways instead. That's how I like to see it anyway. I think that makes sense in my head, and then it's something I always remember. If plants could think, that's probably what it'd be thinking. So anyway, I've got a few of those. I'm going to plant those today at the allotment plot. And then just before I leave, I'll just show you some of the seeds I've got growing inside actually, because I have got a fair few now. So I pricked out most of my tomatoes and they're doing quite well. They're still quite little, but they're all healthy and alive. Tomato plants are pretty indestructible, so I have a feeling these are going to be fine. In here I've planted a couple of cucumbers, and 2 in each pot. These are the crystal lemons. They're like little lemon balls. They look like little lemons, but they're cucumbers. They're absolutely delicious and really fun to grow. So I've got 4 of those growing. I'm hoping just to have 2 plants, but I've sown 4 for obvious reasons. And then in here, I have got, what's in there? Celery. This hasn't germinated yet. I've got my little makeshift seed light reflector, which is just a bit of cardboard box and then some tin foil, and it's just going to bounce the light off when they start to come up. So that's all I've got growing inside. Let's go to the plot. We're on the plot, guys. It definitely feels warmer today than it has been in a long time. I know the weather's not great and it's not sunny and blue skies and stuff, but it definitely feels like the temperature in general is kind of warming up. I also brought a couple of packets of seeds with me as well to sow. So I've got some rocket. Rocket really likes to be sown sort of early spring when it's not too hot, because it bolts so quickly, and bolting means that a crop like a rocket plant sends out flowers prematurely and starts trying to set seed because it feels under stress from like the heat or from too much water or something. It's usually the heat, I think, that makes it bolt, and it just means that it sends out flowers and you don't want it to send out flowers. So it's better to sow it in cool conditions, which is now early spring. There you go, we're learning. I'm also going to whack in my cornflowers today, and I'm just going to sow them directly outside in the flower bed because I think, why not, basically. We'll see what happens. It says you can sow them from March. I think personally the weather is warm enough now to whack some stuff in the ground, so we're going to just do that today. And those are the seeds we're going to sow. Very exciting. But first of all, we're going to do our sweet pea archway and put our sweet peas in. And I'll try not to swallow all my hair. What we've now got to do basically is turn this archway here behind me, which I basically had just I was just going to get rid of and throw away because I didn't think it would be worth anything at all. We've now got to make it strong enough to sustain sweet peas for a while, so it's interesting. I mean, look at that, look at that. However we try and like dress it up, that is what seed sowing is. It's just literally that. Immediately made things worse, immediately came over, made things 100 times worse. It's alright guys, we'll figure it out. Right, the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how do we fix that? There's nothing there, so how do we fix it? Right, I think this works. I just feel like it works. Having said that, every archway I've ever made has fallen down, so maybe it doesn't work. But we can't think like that, guys. You've got to think positively. Everything you do, no matter how stupid it is, you've got to think positively. It might work. I mean, it won't, but what if it did? As you can see, I've sort of put the netting right down to the bottom there. It's secured in. Here's the archway. That's basically what I'm trying to show you. There's a little bit of a gap here. Haven't done this little bit here, so either the sweet peas are going to have to jump, which could happen, I don't know, maybe they'll learn and evolve. They'll have to evolve pretty quickly, but they could. Or I'll just have to tie something on at a later date when they get up to there. If they get up to there. If they get up to there, they'd have earned it. I think I'll have to, you know, pull my thumb out and do something. They've got to get to that point first though, you know, they've got to earn it. That's the idea. So we're going to grow them over an archway. They've never grown over an archway for me before. I've never managed to grow sweet peas over an archway. They get sort of halfway up and then they just stop. It's always worked a lot better for me on like teepees, but I have seen beautiful sweet pea archways on Instagram and stuff, so it is possible. In terms of how we're looking after this bed, this is my flower bed basically, so it's always got dahlias in it, gladiolis, and then any other flowers that I just want to whack in, I do. It's been mulched over with a great big mound of horse poo over the winter time, so that's had a chance to rot down. It really has rotted down. Absolutely fantastic. Adds so much goodness and nutrients, because most flowers, and I say most flowers because there's always one that has to be different, but most flowers like a really rich, well draining soil with lots of nutrients in it, so that's what I've given it. And now we're going to whack in our sweet peas and then the seeds. Right, let's do that then, shall we? I'm just going to break them up a little bit, just not too much. I think they'll be fine together, they're all friends. But we'll just sort of, you know, give them a little bit of space. There you are, guys, you're out in the big wide world. Look at you guys. Oh, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. I have sown these from seed at home like I showed you, but they're not ready to go out yet, and I really want to whack something out now. Oh, look at that plastic. So much plastic whenever I dig anywhere back on my plot. Right, just break up the ground a little bit. There we are. I think they'll be all right in there though. I think they'll just cope, you know. They'll just figure it out, they've got to, because they've all been sewn together in a pot like that. I just like to separate them a little bit, but at the same time I just sort of think they'll be okay together, because I've always done it like this and they've always been okay. So that's what I'm going on. You know, it's not in a book, it's just I've done it this way and it's worked, so why would I not do it this way again? That's why I always say you've got to just do it, guys. You've got to just whack stuff in. You know, you can read the books all you want, get all the information in the world, but unless you start actually whacking stuff in the ground, you don't know what's going to grow and what's not going to work. I've always done it like this and it's always grown. So where lies the problem? Nowhere, that's where. Right, I've just remembered that I've neglected to protect them from snails and slugs, so I am going to use a little bit of strolch. If you've never seen strolch, that's strolch. It is so good, strolch. It is a bit pricey, but it is the one thing that I found just works so well against slugs and snails that I'm just going to buy some more and just take the hit. I don't have much left, so hopefully it'll be enough. From what I remember, I don't think slugs and snails love sweet peas as much as other plants, so we might be alright. Now I've said that, they'll all be eaten. So, nice thick mulch. Oh, sorry guys, it's all over you now. Shake it off, come on, shake it off, shake it off. Look at that sun coming out, so beautiful. I knew it would be a good day today. Right, the next job of the day is going to be to throw out, whack out even, these cornflowers. This is a tall mixed variety, they're supposed to be quite tall, and that's what I wanted, some height in the garden. So we're just going to self-seed, I wish they would just self-seed. No, we're going to scatter them like confetti and hope for the best. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but that is the seed. It's like a little brush. It's like a tiny little brush for ants to paint. I hope they don't steal these and paint their burrows with them, whatever they are. Oh, I've dropped it. Right, it's okay, it was just one. We've lost one. Stop showing you now and just whack them all on. Is that a duck? Is that a duck flying? Since when did ducks fly? Right, okay, here we go. See, in the wild, when they sort of self-seed, that's all they would do. They would just sort of fly about, land on the ground, a bit of dirt comes down, bang on the top of it, rain, pushes it down. That's it. That's it. Like, however we try and like dress it up, that is what seed sowing is. It's just literally that. So, you know, you can't really go wrong. You might think I'm crazy, but on my first year I did that with zinnias and I got the most beautiful zinnias flowers that I've ever seen in my life. Never been able to grow them since, and that's all I did. I just literally just threw them on. I said, there you go, zinnias. And then poof, zinnias. Right, we're going to whack in our rocket now, and the wild rocket, and we're going to do it over here. I think this is a good place. This has been mulched quite recently as well, so it should be alright. Oh my god! Rocket in, cornflowers in, pretty good day I think, sweet peas in, hopefully they'll grow over the archway. Yeah, plot's looking pretty good right now. Obviously I've mulched a couple more of my beds and I'm probably going to mulch a couple more as well. I think that's probably where I went wrong last year, not mulching enough, but we'll find out I guess. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the vlog today. If you did, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you again in the week. Thanks for watching guys, see you next time.